We know that wood is the aspired to product, right? So I don't have to figure out like, oh, well, I wish consumers liked wood in their home.
Welcome back to All Things Wood Floor, your go-to source for everything that happens underfoot. I'm your host, Steve Diggins. Today we're talking innovation, craftsmanship, and what it takes to stay at the forefront of the hardwood flooring industry. I think hardwood floor pros around the world can agree Bruce is arguably the most recognized name in hardwood flooring. From its beginnings as the E.L. Bruce Hardwood Flooring Company in 1884 to today, no manufacturer has produced more hardwood flooring in all its forms than these folks. Joining me today, Milton Goodwin, a true industry leader with decades of experience and an executive vice president at AHF Products, today's modern version of Bruce and one of the biggest names in hardwood flooring today. We'll explore where the industry's headed, how AHF is shaping the future of design and performance, and why your next floor project just might start right here. Floor pros around the world, welcome Milton Goodwin, AHF Products. Let's get to it. All right, good morning, Milton Goodwin, Vice President of AHF Products. Welcome to All Things Wood Floor.
Good morning to you.
Hey there. Going back as a floor guy myself till the 1987 NWFA convention, if you got in at any point in time, the Bruce name in hardwood flooring is like Coca-Cola. I don't know how many people know that it's the E.L. Bruce Company was founded in like the 1880s. During the Second World War, they made ammo boxes. They contributed to the war effort. And when Office of Regulation was price controlling a lot of products, they said, we have price controls on flooring, but, if we put a little wax finish on here, we'll call it pre-finished and we can't be regulated this role. It goes all the way back then. And I didn't know that Armstrong, and you can explain AHF to me, they were founded in 1860. This is a 160-year-old company you're working for.
Yeah, it's an amazing story for both companies. Armstrong started off as a cork company and making forks for medicine during the Civil War. So, back then there were a variety of grades of corks and how well the medicine was protected. And Circle A was put on top of the cork to give people confidence that the medicine that they were taking was done properly. So, and then, you have Bruce coming along. So, having companies that are well over 100 years old in the United States and still going strong are very rare, like unbelievably rare. So we're proud of the history. But yeah, the Bruce brand's been around for a while. Our Harco brand, Robbins, all are over 100 years old. So we have a pretty good legacy to stand on. And we, continue to grow that with new products and so forth. So it's pretty good place to be.
Did the AHF do Neocon? They do Neocon each year, right?
Absolutely. We'll be there next week. Glad you brought that up. We actually will be introducing Armstrong back into the wood world at Neocon with our intensified wood. So I know we're here to talk a little bit about Bruce, but we're pretty excited about the fact that Armstrong will introduce wood back into the commercial sector at Neocon this coming week. Actually, I'll be there on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So good things happening there. So we kind of pulled the Armstrong name away from wood, and that legacy on commercial is pretty strong, so we're bringing that densified wood back to that brand.
I thought it was interesting because a lot of there's so many facets to our industry, and the average flooring contractor does one thing, and then there's dealers and there's wholesalers, etc. But Neocon does that commercial interior design show, which is it's a really big deal in the industry. And I know last year, I think it was Jennifer Zimmerman was one of the speakers for you folks, and she rattled off this list. This is your company: Bruce, Armstrong, Harco, Robbins, LM, Capella, Homerwood, Hearthwood. It goes Autograph, on and on. How many products are under your umbrella, and which umbrella? Is it the AHF umbrella?
Yeah, so AHF is the parent, I'll call it, and under which all of those are brands that we have. I think we have 17 brands that we have in the marketplace. And some are bigger than others. So we're talking, Bruce, Harco, Robbins, LM, would be kind of the big four in wood. And then we have additional brands that we utilize in order to expand our presence in the marketplace, give distribution an opportunity to have their own unique brand and unique products. So it's a bit of a balancing act with the brands, but we're proud of all of them. And we have products in all of them that serve some component of the business.
Now, you VCU guy, Virginia Commonwealth?
Yeah, I'm a Ram. Growing up in Richmond, Virginia, University of Richmond under Dick Tarrant used to be the giant killers in the NCAA.
Yep.
And VCU kind of holds that mantle now. So
Division I, right?
We just lost our coach again. We seem to be the breeding ground for coaches in the NCAA. So our last coach just went to UVA, which needs a little help. But yeah, my wife and I both are graduates of VCU.
Is that a medical university, or did you study chemistry there?
Well, my wife was a dental hygienist, so she would tell you that it's a medical school.
Right.
I majored in chemistry and parlayed that into the flooring career. So it's a little strange how things happen, but VCU's actually architectural school, arts and medical are the big three that they have there.
In particular, in the overview of the AHF umbrella, et cetera, Bruce is seriously significant. Do you want to tell me a little bit about where Bruce, the name is today, or what is significant?
Yeah. So Bruce is the number one brand in wood for sure. We do a lot of research on branding. Armstrong, you mentioned, is kind of the preeminent brand in flooring. Bruce is actually, with consumers, is right below the Armstrong brand in consumer awareness. And in some fields, specifically with wood, Bruce is so far ahead with brand recognition. Bruce can be found in the big box stores, which helps to continue the brand. So we're very proud of the fact that we're in the big box stores and consumers can access that. But we're also in the independent retailers. So you've got about 10,000 independent retailers out there that have access to Bruce. So we kind of call it the everywhere brand. You mentioned Coca-Cola. You can buy Coca-Cola everywhere, and we're very proud of the fact that you can get a great product in Bruce, and we cover the gambit of products under Bruce. There really is, right off the top of my head, I can't think of any wood product that we manufacture that cannot be is not branded under Bruce in some way. In other words, we don't have a kind of an outlier over here that you can't get under Bruce. Now we have different colors and different structures, but Bruce covers the entire gambit of product.
How do they balance that whole? How do you keep that tradition alive? I mean, it isn't, soda. This is hardwood flooring, and it is a big name. And, companies go through a lot of changes, especially over the decades. Yeah. How do they balance that whole tradition of the Bruce name with the fact that you still have to, in flooring, somehow find a way to be innovative? Yeah,
so I would like to believe that we're on the cutting edge as far as development in wood. We have on our staff some really brilliant wood scientists that are working on new and innovative things to bring to the marketplace. I get the luxury of being the product guy, so I'm touching, along with our sales organization, and then our marketing people and their staff are in the marketplace getting feedback on which way the market is going. And so when we make those determinations, we typically we're coming out with every year, in round numbers, we're somewhere around 3 to 6 new products a year. So there's a lot of work behind that, and there's a lot of great people doing the work behind that. So just in I've been here about 2.5, going on 3 years at AHF, was at Armstrong prior to that for quite a while. In my short time here, some unbelievable things that I, have had the pleasure working with, our densified product. We talk about that a lot, and we're going to be at Neocon with that product. But that is a product that we have a patent on, makes the product unbelievable 6 times more dent resistant, 4 times more scratch resistant. We are the only engineered wood company, we believe, in the world that every engineered product that we make is waterproof out of the box. So we made a decision 2 years ago that we weren't going to fight the fight anymore on waterproof. We're just going to say the product is waterproof out of the box. And then we have differing levels of waterproof protection. We're 8 hours up to 36 hours. So if somebody wants basically an engineered wood product that's waterproof, we have that under our HydroPel technology. We're actually taking an old product, a Bruce product, our 5/16, and that's getting a revamp. So we're going to the technology on the installation of 5/16 is actually helping us revamp that product. So now with adhesives that are the issue with solid 5/16 was always around moisture.
Natural reflections?
Yes, good. Natural choice, natural reflections.
Yeah.
So today the adhesives business has caught up to us, and so you can get adhesive right out of the bucket that's 100% RH. So we're tying that technology on our adhesive side, bringing back 5/16, which is a solid wood, thinner profile, can match up the carpet, the whole, a lot of positives there, and it's a little less costly. So, those are just 3 examples of technology that we are coming out with now, and we are working on some other things behind the scenes. And then we are, the biggest product that we've introduced in the last 6 months is actually an old product, unfinished. I mean, what goes around comes around. We've been 30 years out of the unfinished business.
Good for you.
And so all the changes that occurred in solid wood with the sawmills, a lot of sawmills leaving, a lot of capacity leaving. The time was right for us to re-enter the unfinished business. So it's hard to say that unfinished is a new technical innovation, but it's certainly a new innovation, new for us, meaning 30 years we've been out of that business. So what's old is new. We've got a little bit different twist on how we're bringing it to market. So, we're never short on new ideas. And then our style and design team, I'd put them up against anybody. Tim Ryan, my lead designer, the guy is phenomenal. I mean, he just has such an eye for what people will gravitate to, and that really helps me in my job. Makes my job a lot easier when we have good-looking product that people want to buy.
Well, it's interesting what you've mentioned so far because I do a lot of consulting, and the minute anybody says, "So I'm going to glue down a hardwood," I say, "No, you're not." But I can. I know. And the glue people told me, "Yes, no, I'm flat out 100 until the NWFA says yeah." But lately, I've been saying, let's pay attention. There's a lot of people doing things. I went through the whole natural reflections revolution from the day it came out, and the idea that you can glue a solid, that's where the technology would be.
Yeah.
The yield you get from saving that much material and that's closer to the square edge, the pre-finish, when they do get this all squared away and you can do something like that with a solid, that is going to be technologically groundbreaking.
It's happening, and the technology on that we spent, I think, over the last 2 years, about $40 million in our plants on accurate cutting, improving on the sanding. Our accuracy on the product, it's hard to manipulate. We haven't figured out 3/4 yet. We're not confident enough yet. The 5/16 is malleable enough that we can do that. And like I said, the technology, we did introduce technology on the wood side to cut it squarer, flatter, etc. But really, it's the adhesive technology that's taken it to the next level. So we'll take the technology wherever it comes from.
You guys, if anybody can do it, it's you folks. Explain that really quick. Go back the densified product. Is that the veneer in an engineered, or are we talking about densified to solids?
This is engineered. So we're taking, there's old technology, if you remember Pattern Plus back in the day.
Yes, famous product.
So that was acrylic technology. So basically you have to get rid of the pores in the wood. So the way originally it was, you would fill those pores with acrylic. We'd pull a vacuum, pull the acrylic into it, and that made the product more durable. Obviously, plastics and so forth are not where the world is going anymore. So we look for better technology, and our wood scientist, Travis Borkman, basically came up with the way through heat and pressure to crush the cells. So we multiple press the product. We put it under heat because wood likes to bounce back. So we don't want it to bounce back. So in essence, we're taking a veneer. I'll just use the number. One of our new exciting products we have is a pine, which pine is very soft. It's been really a technical challenge to be able to make that wood densified. But that product starts off at 5 millimeters thick. And we squeeze it. So think of a marshmallow. And we squeeze that marshmallow down to 2 millimeters. So now you can imagine how hard. So we are taking a Janka rating of 500 to up to like 2,500.
Wow.
On pine, which is your dent resistance. And then what happens when you're scratching wood is dogs, they're usually the culprit. Those paws are grabbing that softwood. And so by eliminating that softwood, that scratch resistance comes along with the densification. And we sell it under a variety of names. The most common name you hear out there is dogwood.
Right.
People before me came up with it. So you can see what you get. So we call it dogwood. The new Armstrong product will be called Timber Tones, but it all uses the same technology to get you to the product. Sure. So for the commercial lineup, we had all new colors and everything that we did that are suitable. Really, you can use it anywhere, but hospitality and retail are the two big ones that we're focused on commercially.
I think people understand how much technology goes into, people think, hey, cut down a tree, throw it in your house. It's a lot of technology. Remember the years they came out with torrefied wood? They would bake your flooring until it burned and it had no life in it. And it worked, but your house smelled like a campfire. So
yeah, well, we do some fuming, but we have to get rid of the fuming smell. So we do a lot of things to wood to get you to different looks. And the durability of the densified product, it's on a par with, here at AHF, we sell VCT, we have Crossville, and we have densified. And in particular order of hardness of product, it would be porcelain, VCT, and densified. Yep. So in those three, you can get, for us, we're a natural product. So to be able to have a natural wood product that has that kind of durability is pretty amazing. Is
acrylic impregnated out, or it's still something?
It's out for us. It's still out there. There's some competitors out there that sell that product. Yeah. We think we have a better solution, and our product, in most cases, performs better than the old acrylic stuff.
I want to ask you a few things about your new unfinished line. We'll get into that, but I want to back up a second because you had mentioned it was nice of you to mention that, hey, we have it's a big corporation. We have a lot of really talented, good, smart people. And I'm sure that your director of marketing is Catherine Del Vecchio. I saw some articles she had written, and it had said, your motto at your company is experience above all. There's a lot of catchy little words you could throw in, but, that's smart, experience. I think that's what's lacking in an industry like ours. You need to have veteran presence, people that have tried things and failed, people, like you said, that have technology in their minds, past, present, and future. That applies, right? Is that what it is across the board, making sure your people are experienced?
I sit in meetings. On our wood team, and, I look around, just years of experience. It's not unusual for us to have 200-300 years of experience sitting around the table.
Right.
They've seen the things that didn't work. They've seen the things that did work. And then at the same time, we've got the young minds out there that have gone to the schools to learn wood technology. So they know different techniques that can be done to wood to improve it or get us to places where we need to be as a competitor in the flooring market. LVT, let's face it, LVT has taken market share away from every product category out there.
Yeah.
So, and we sell LVT. We have great LVT products here at AHF, but I'm the wood guy.
Right.
So I need to make sure that, we are providing products that consumers gravitate to. We know that wood is the aspired to product right? So I don't have to figure out like, oh, well, I wish consumers liked wood in their home. That we already got over that hurdle. That's not a
Right.
that's not a tough one. So we have to make sure we're telling the right story, that we have a product that people can aspire to. We make it as economically feasible as possible. And then it's got attributes like scratch resistance, waterproof, and those things that give them the confidence to buy the product. And oh, by the way, wood is natural.
Right.
You know, when you put wood in a landfill, guess what's going to happen to it? It's going to rot away, and you can actually grow something back into it. And you know, the NWFA has got some, you know, the technology on the NWFA, as far as the green story is, wood is the only carbon negative flooring product.
Right.
Now, some people that want to refute that and so forth, but let's just say, for the sake of this discussion, it is a very green, sustainable product, and probably at the top of the list. So the young folks today that are out there that are touting that, putting vinyl in their house kind of goes against that whole theory, so to speak. So, you know, we're okay if they buy AHF vinyl, but I'm the wood guy, so we like them to put wood in the house.
Hey, I hear this is a wood floor podcast. We get, you know, guff from a lot of people, but, you know, here in New England, let's say every home has hardwood, just about. And I think people underestimate too how strong a pre-finished floor is. You look at a sight sanded finished job, the best of the best, and they're beautiful. However, when you look at a pre-finished floor, the abrasion resistance is insane. And ask any floor guy that goes, I just spent $1,000 on paper. This stuff is terrible. What do you mean terrible? You couldn't sand it with ceramic paper for $1,000.
In 20 years, when that wood floor uglies out, it's not going to wear out. When it uglies out, you can refinish it or refurbish it. The other floors, you got to take them up and replace them. So, like I like to tell people when I talk about why wood, it's really the only forever floor. It adds value to your home. It is forever. Most people are not putting wood in thinking I'm going to replace it 5 years down the road.
Right.
This episode is brought to you by Bruce Flooring from AHF Products, a name contractors have trusted for over a century. If you're looking for more control, more customization, and more craftsmanship in your projects, Bruce has just launched something you're going to want to check out. A new line of solid and engineered unfinished hardwood flooring. It's American-made, precision-milled, and ready for your touch. From custom stains to site-finish durability. Whether you're doing a historic restoration or just want that high-end, personalized finish, Bruce's unfinished line gives you the blank canvas to do your best work. Learn more and find your local distributor at info.bruce.com/unfinished. Now back to our conversation.
So, Milton, you're in at the AHF as vice president for about the last 3 years, but you were with Armstrong a long time.
Yeah, I was there about 16 years. Left in 2000 and 15 or 16, and went to Carndine Flooring. Had a great run there. Worked on the commercial side. Thought I was going to kick back and play golf and retire, and got a phone call from the folks here, and lo and behold, I got back doing what I was doing. When I left Armstrong, I was doing the wood thing. Took a walk on the vinyl side with a different company, and then came back, and fortunate enough to be back doing what I was doing. About 50% of the people are still here. It's really, when I walk the halls, when I was coming over and doing interviews and so forth, seeing people that I had worked with was really a cool thing to come back to.
In flooring, you become like Michael Corleone. You try to get out, they just drag you right back in.
Keep sucking you back in.
Absolutely.
Right.
So before all that, was it flooring? Were you involved in?
Yeah, I'm a flooring guy. I was a ceramic guy first.
Okay.
So actually, Ceramic Tile brought me to Armstrong. I worked for a company still out there, Lauf and Roca, on the ceramic side. And Armstrong was getting back into ceramic, and so I jumped at the opportunity to come to work for them under ceramic. Then got tapped to do laminate. Had a great run in laminate, and then got tapped to do wood. So the only thing I haven't done, I've never done carpet, and I've never done sheet vinyl per se, VCT.
Let's keep it that way.
But yeah, so hard surface. And my middle name, by the way, most people don't realize this. I was destined to be in this business. My middle name is Wood.
Oh, there you go.
Seriously, they're like, are you kidding me? I'm like, yeah.
It gets even better. It's ton, wood, good, win. You got all the acronyms. You can't miss. Mine's digging. I'm going to be digging ditches the rest of my life instead of throwing flooring down. Mm-hmm. That kind of rolls me into where I wanted to talk to you about your new unfinished line. You get the same background, Milton. Let's talk about the evil word strip. We spend our lives in strip flooring. The whole industry for I don't know how many decades. Strip flooring, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 3 1/4 was considered plank. I think they're actually trying to whistle past the graveyard and call 3 1/4 strip now. Remember the years of selling truckloads and truckloads of 2 1/4 and for almost nothing. And it seems like now, even in my building, there's far less of it.
Yeah, well, as you well know, in the wood business, it starts with a tree, and we have to make that whole tree disappear into the market. It's not economically feasible, at least in my career, to like throw parts of it away. So when nature kind of threw us a curveball, it would have been nice if the trees would have been square, but they're round. Right, so we got. You
can't do that in your lab. You don't have any technology for the square
somebody
tree.
Said yesterday we could wrap the trees. I was like, well, do you know how many trees we would have to wrap?
Right,
and it takes about 20 years. So theoretically, maybe, but
no.
Anyway, the strip plank and then the wider widths is a consumption of the tree. So I don't think the strip will ever go away. And in unfinished. It's dominated by strip and plank. And so red oak, white oak, we have red oak, white oak, strip and plank. The one thing we don't have with our product that most of our unfinished guys have is we don't have one common or two common. Right. We don't have to. We actually take those products that have the blemishes and things that people don't want. So we only sell select. And because of our ability, or I guess scale on pre-finish, we take those products and we stain them. And that's where those products, so they get stain gets put on them, and you're able to mask some of the wood that is not desired in unfinished.
You still mix any of them?
We're not out selling. So when our guys go out and sell, we're selling select only, 2 1/4, 3 1/4, and red oak and white oak. And we have, there's a shortage of white oak, but we have probably more white oak available to us, which is a big help. Okay. So we're able to supply a lot of white oak. There's a shortage of it. So we've infused the marketplace with some additional white oak availability on unfinished, which has been a big help for us. The greatest compliment you can get is a reorder. And so we've been in that business about 6 months. Every customer that we have had is reordering product. So the quality's there. It's made in West Plains, Missouri. We may put it into Beverly at some point, our Beverly, West Virginia plant. But right now we were originally set up to do unfinished about 30 years ago at West Plains. So we had to dust off a little of the equipment and like the Tin Man, we had to oil it up and get it brought back to new. But West Plains is where we're making the product.
I will tell you at the Vegas show, we walked by the booth, got chatting with your folks, and we picked up 3 tractor trailer loads. It was pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
Is there still a D4? Is there still D4, D5? Do they still have designation? It used to be, that was famous, D4, D5, strip red.
I'm not familiar with that, so you got me with that one. So
that was what D4, anything even was red, anything odd was white, D4, strip red, D5, and it was everywhere.
Actually it is. I don't use that terminology much, but I do see it on some of the paperwork. Yes, it is out there.
Is is it industry-wide? I noticed NWFA, NOFMA, recently, the grading kind of seems to skip over any type of select and better. It seems to go clear, select, common. Is that an industry thing now, just to call it select?
Yeah, the NWFA is pretty strict. They're not caving on the grading. It's funny you bring that up. I've had quite a lively conversation yesterday around wood grading. Yeah. In engineered America, we use names. The rest of the world does A, B, C, D, E.
Right.
Personally, I like A, B, C, D, E. I think it's easier for people to understand, but
Yeah.
NWFA is the gold standard, and they're not going to change 200 years of how we grade wood. So,
No.
I'll follow that standard, and I'm good with that. So.
Words like, tavern, cottage, rustic, those are going to. I just saw a brand the other day. They had extreme common or something, and it's their best grade. I go, don't do that. What are you doing?
Well, I would say that you and I think we know wood, but even if you know all of those terminologies and what they actually stand for, good for you, because I can't keep up with all of it. So I think a picture is really important. I tell our marketing folks all the time, let's make sure that picture on the back of that sample board is reflective of what that floor is going to look like.
You know what Bruce was famous for, and I'm talking the late 80s, 90s?
Yeah.
We used to go on mill tours. They were famous for their storyboard, and we would say, what is that? And they go, you have to have a storyboard. Their production line had a giant nailed sample of what the graders should be looking at, and they would pay attention to that. I'm sure they had it memorized after a while, but that's very important. And you got that 5% for a little something here or there that might slip through. But, the picture tells the story.
Well, in front of our line, we've added computers to help us with the grading.
Right.
The interesting thing is we actually have added more people in the final section of the grading. So we let computers do that. I would call it the rougher grading as it's coming down the line. But we've actually added people. So we actually have more people in the final grading now than we used to have, because we used to have to spread them all the way through the whole process. So we're letting technology help us on the front end. But you can't beat the human eye at the very end when it goes in the box. So
I once called the plant in Dallas, Texas, because there was a gentleman in your grading that was autographing boards.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It said Terrence Cool Flake Phelps Jr. We called the factory. Okay. Do you have a Terrence Phelps? They go, yes, he works in production. I go, thank him for the autograph. And we hung that in our bar. Orange crayon on the
awesome.
back. That's really cool. So what's the inspiration? Like, where did they say, listen, we got to launch a line, and most people come up with a million things, but you don't often hear, hey, let's launch an unfinished line. What was the inspiration behind that?
It really, like most things in business, it really helps when there's a demand and a profit stream. So if you're going to bring a new product to market, we want to make sure that we're able to do it profitably. And like I said, some of the changes with the sawmills and the downturn of some of our industry, we saw the pathway to doing this. And fortunately for us, being around for 100 plus years, like I said, we still had the equipment. So we didn't have to go out and spend millions and millions of dollars. I don't know if anybody would go out today and start a ground up unfinished plant.
No.
So if you've got the equipment, you've got the people, you've got the technology, and you've got the demand in the marketplace, it was just the right time for us to do it. And we had to go out. The biggest challenge that we've had is to prove to people, being kind of an old guy to the business, but a new guy to a lot of these customers that haven't seen us in a while. We had to prove our quality. Okay. And so, getting them to take product on, like you said, you bought truckloads. You somewhat, you have a kind of a history with us, but it's a leap of faith. You're making a leap of faith. You're going to spend $45,000 to pick a number on a truckload of wood. That's quite a commitment. It's not a pallet of wood. You're buying a truckload of wood. So, we got it out there. We get the reorders. That's when we know that we're onto something. And, we're still the largest pre-finish guy in the world. Right. The folks that do unfinished are true wood people. And they do a lot of pre-finished, and we weren't getting their pre-finished business. So if our sales guy hasn't been to see you about pre-finished, he will come in to see you. We're launching a whole new premium grade of products on pre-finished to take advantage of that marketplace out there that we haven't played in. So unfinished is about 10% of the market. It's not insignificant. It's a pretty big market. So, we think our rightful place there should be, some part of that 10%. And if we can augment that by selling really nice, graded, beautiful pre-finished products, it's a win-win for us. It's not just an unfinished play.
Isn't that amazing? I was at Patriot Hardwood Floors in Boston, Woburn, which was a tri-pack company. It was built by Bruce, top to bottom.
Yep.
And I remember going on board and in marketing and them saying, "How much pre-finish can you sell?" I go, "We'll be 20%," and they laughed at me. 20%, like 3 decades ago. Oh, that's never going to happen. And you just said it, 10%. Like, where in your marketing experience, in your group, in your people, how does unfinished fit into today's market? You just said 10%. Where is it fitting in now, unfinished material?
Unfinished fits in two places. First off, any type of remodel. So you're in New England and somebody builds an addition on a home, right, and they want the same wood that's in the living room and dining room, and they want it to continue through the home. So you have a huge remodel market. And then in new construction, it's more on the upper end where unfinished is going in the new construction. So people want a perfectly smooth floor. Most of your pre-finished products have bevels, and so if you want a smooth floor, you have to go to unfinished, and people continue to buy what they know. So there's a lot of baby boomers out there that are building their second or last house, as it were, and they're putting unfinished in. They want what they had. They want a perfectly smooth floor. So there's a big demand for it, and the folks that do unfinished, they actually probably do the best job when they're talking to consumers.
Oh yeah,
it's like, what would you put in your home? Well, if it was my home, I would put in unfinished. I would pick the color. I would pick the gloss level. I would coordinate it to whatever is in your mind of what you visualize the home looking like, and we've got about 250 years of legacy that unfinished works.
Yes.
So, the unfinished guys that are out there, they're the best salespeople we have, and we love those guys and gals, and we just want to make sure that we keep getting them the product so they can keep doing what they're doing. It's
funny, over the years you'll hear things like X product is junk, and everybody knows that's junk, and water-based finishes are terrible. And, I think when you're in the field like we are, you get to see that development early. What's happening now is we're getting past I don't want engineered. Engineering's garbage. People don't realize, you just mentioned it. If you want a flat site sanded floor and you want pre-finished, then your next move is engineered. Pretty much bevel's gone, tighter milling, everything, and then you get into the bevel portion of it. And people traditionally find that the floors are very durable, et cetera, but at some point maybe they want those bevels gone. And the bevel and the milling and the engineering, and you pointed it out, comes down to quality products, the different species, and how it's precision milled. I've been on mill inspections and said to someone, "Why is your flooring," and they'll cut you off and go, "doesn't look as good as that other one from up north?" I go, "Yes, why is that? We run it 12 times faster." Right? You guys are trying to produce quality, volume, species with milling precision. Yep. How does that all come together?
Well, it has to do with, our technical guys, the amount of money that we invest in our factories. Our tolerances are in thousands of inches. Thousands of inches.
From panel sanding.
Our veneer thicknesses are, spot on. We do, in the course of making a product, the product is inspected, depends on on average, about 8 times coming down the line before it gets into a box. Our claims rates are unbelievably low, like less than 1%. Right. So when we do have a claim, we want to correct it quickly, but we don't have a lot of claims. And then, we've been talking about unfinished, kind of more so in the world of solids, but we have a whole assortment of unfinished engineered.
That's huge right now.
And, so just like engineered wood today is about 65% of the total wood market, 65 to 70, depending on who you want to listen to. That was from zero. that all happened in you and I's career, like from zero to that. And we think that there's a similar track on engineered unfinished. It's smaller than solid is today, but if you want wider width, different species, so we have hickory unfinished as an example, engineered. We have a variety of grades. We use the ABC method in grading our engineered. So our engineered unfinished is the little engine that could. Solid is bigger, but engineered is certainly grown. And it's a function of the quality of our products. I mean, you might know the name Turlington, right? If
Coastal Woodlands.
You've been putting Turlington in for 30 years, the same equipment that's doing Turlington is doing our unfinished.
Right.
The same equipment that's doing Dundee is doing our unfinished. Right. So if you know our premium products that have a legacy, you should expect the same or not, maybe even better, because we put new equipment in over the last 2 years. The grading and the quality is actually better than it was 3 years ago because we spent the money on the equipment.
I talk with people around the country, and if they've been in as long as you or I have, then we start throwing it around. CB 921? No, 926. Laurel Strip? No, Bayport. No, they put it out as AHF. Like there's a whole vernacular to the Bruce line and all the innovations that were there.
Yeah. I mean,
Coastal Woodlands.
It's a number one selling pre-finished product in the market today and has been for 25, 30 years. Dundee.
You know what the big thing that we've skipped over is when you're talking about a hardwood flooring contractor, and I talk about it a lot. Listen, if anybody in this industry at any level forgets that guy, that woman, that man, whoever it is that's slamming that flooring in, even no matter the size of that market, you've committed a very large error, because they're the ones that decide to put it in. They're the ones that, if they don't like your product, decide to add an extra $1 to it. They're the ones that slap labels on it like, this is junk, that's no good. And it's marketing and it sticks because that's perception. So I think that one of the things I saw at the show was that Bruce and AHF are really making sure they are in tune from the beginning. The person that installs it, the person that distributes it, to your people that manufacture it. That seems like you've got divisions. What are they? Residential, remodeling, and commercial? Is that how you look at your products?
Yeah. So, I mean, we go through a variety of channels, but we touch everybody all the way through the process. So it starts with consumers. So, you mentioned Catherine, our VP of marketing. When you've got a legacy brand, it's important that we're telling the story to consumers through, every means that we have out there to keep that message alive. From the consumer, we're going to the contractor. And so we're involved with NWFA. We just sent flooring, as an example, to their training session. So we're involved with the training, the NWFA, the Decorative Hardwood Association. So we're tied very closely to the contractors. And then we're getting to the contractors through a variety of methods, mainly through distribution, or if that contractor goes to one of the big box stores, we want to make sure that they're confident in what they're going to get from, whether it's a distributor or a retailer that's doing the job, that they're confident. And we, through our websites, through our training, I was doing training yesterday. I had 25 people here in our showroom, and all types of levels. We had contractors in there. We had a builder in there. We had distributor people in there. We had our people in there. So we're spending a lot of time, money, and effort on the training end of it. And so I don't think we leave too many stones unturned as far as who is involved in the purchase, acquiring, installing of our product. We're touching them all as much as we can.
The gift that you're giving to the flooring contractor, especially when you say that the pre-finish is like 60% of the market, you're handing them back to sand and finish. They like, as much as anybody, go into a pre-finish, get out, get paid. But you got to be slower. You got to take it easy. You don't want to rush those jobs. You want to protect the flooring. they're always appreciative when they go in and they get the install and they're getting paid for the sand and finish. And in engineered flooring, even better, because you're not starting with 36 or something heavy or a drum. Probably cutting in there with a multi-head.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, I mean, you know, to me, it just kind of goes with what we do. But, you know, we have moldings to match every product. I mean, match, you know, we use coordinating, you know, match. We have the adhesives. The only thing we don't really sell are, you know, the nailers and that kind of thing. But when you order the job, that pallet will come to you, and if you ordered it, it'll be on there, and you should be able to walk away from that job and have confidence that it's on there. The moldings will match. You know, we've actually just added additional stair treads and so forth like that. But, you know, I was never a contractor, but I spent a lot of time with contractors. And that, you know, if you walk away and you're missing a reducer strip, you got $10,000 tied up because I didn't have a reducer strip. That's a problem. So we try to make sure that we have everything that you need to finish the job.
You nailed it. I call it the scourge of our industry. And I just opened a new distributorship, and we started again with, you get the most beautifully manufactured pre-finished hardwood flooring in the world and go, how about moldings and trims and this? And you watch the orders go out, and the orders go out, and the orders that we have in stock, and they all say, in 3 weeks, you'll get your nosing. In 3 weeks, you'll get your T-molding. In 3 weeks, it's the one thing about when I was a Bruce distributor, we had them. We had 10, 20, 30 boxes of everything to match every color, and you didn't have to say, well, wait for your moldings when they come out. I think that's really good to have that available.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have almost 1,500 products to manage. So that's a lot of moldings.
Yeah. So, and it's not an easy gig. That's a whole other business when you want it to be a whole other business.
Oh, yeah. 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 We have a pretty large part of our warehouse dedicated to moldings out there. So that's just part of the job. It's just part of what we do.
Do you think in your unfinished portion of this, does it tie in or complement all the pre-finished line? Do you find complementary areas where the two are?
Yeah, 100%. I mentioned earlier. Yeah, we're tapping new customers every day with unfinished. Every one of those customers does pre-finished work, and a lot of them, quite honestly, are not up to speed on all the pre-finished products that we have, and so it's incumbent upon us. Not only are we selling unfinished, but making them aware. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty confident that we have the largest array of pre-finished products in solid and engineered of any company in the world. So typically they'll say, I use this product over here from somebody else.
Yep.
And you look at it, you go, well, that's like this product that we already have. And they'll say, well, let me see that product that you already have. So in some cases, I mean, the first few people that we met with took products right off our shelf. We didn't have to do anything.
Right.
Or they'll say, I see what you have here. Can you make me these three colors to augment your current color palette? And so we get the colors they want. We go out, we do the color work. And in some cases, we have made to order products that they can plug in.
Right.
So, yeah, 100%. We are definitely tying in our pre-finished product offering with the unfinished for sure.
Well, AHF is, clearly the tail that wagged the dog. When I'll do some seminars on different levels of flooring, whether it's the history of flooring or distribution or networking or big box stores. One of the things I think has got to be difficult to juggle. If you're a small little mill, let's say in the Appalachian Mountains, you have your forests, you got your trees. You can only produce so much. You reproduce it. It's beautiful. Everything. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful. But when you're a company as large as yours, it seems like you have such a massive demand. Your resources have to come from, I would imagine, a lot more different places. How do you handle all your supply chain issues?
So we have in the U.S. on solid, we have two plants. We buy from several hundred sawmills.
Yep.
2 years, going on 2 years, a year and a half ago, we acquired two sawmills near our Beverly, West Virginia plant. And And that was really, done to protect our flank, to make sure that we, had access to the lumber. Our Beverly, West Virginia plant is the largest solid wood plant in the world. So it takes a lot of wood to feed that plant. We've got 100 plus years of relationships with these sawmill companies that are out there. We're like anybody. The wood is heavy, so we want to be we don't like to drive wood around us very far. But we go out about 100 to 150 miles away from our plants. We also have an engineered plant in Cambodia, and that's predominantly European white oak that comes out of that plant. So, with all the tariffs and so forth and uncertainties, having our two engineered plants in the U.S. is safe harbor. So, and then our two solid plants in the U.S. So they're not affected by tariffs, or potentially would be not affected by tariffs. And then the Cambodia plant is not in China, so it's not immune to all the noise that's out there, but it's probably in as good a place as it could be in Asia. But bottom line is, if something happens on tariffs, we're right here in the good old U.S. of A. We're in Kentucky, Tennessee, and Missouri, and West Virginia. So that's about as American as you can get as far as our locations.
I want to shift gears a bit because I want to get to some other part of this. I wanted to throw at you a little bit of your advice and about the industry and the outlook of the industry. Like, what do you think we can share with contractors that are navigating all these changes? Some of them people just think, oh, pro contractors. No, there's a lot of pros. There's a lot of newbies. There's a lot of people that know nothing because they're getting $6 a foot and they're attracted to the money. And I know that AHF is always focused on that entire, that whole camp. How do you focus on keeping contractors in step with you in technology?
Kind of unravel that question a little bit. One, I think that the industry needs to continue to support the NWFAs and decorative hardwoods as far as training new people to come into the industry.
Right.
So we spend money and send our products and support that any way that we can. You can make a really great living in the hardwood industry installing hardwood. So, making sure that young people out there know they can make a six-figure salary installing it is important. Number two, making sure that the technologies that are out there, and we're not alone in that, that world. The adhesives are easy to spread. They're dry. They protect you against moisture issues that are out there, which is usually the Achilles heel. We're touting that every which way we can. And then we, as an example, I'll throw a kudos to a competitor in some regard. We tied in with Bona at NWFA.
Right.
Their new technology on some of their stains. We're really not in the stain business, but they were kind enough to show their new technology, fast drying. So there are ways to get in and get out of that job and not cut corners. And so that's what we're really spending a lot of our time on with the contractors. Make sure, that they know the right way to do it. Protect yourself against moisture, which is Achilles. We've got products to do that. There are products that will get you in and out of the job faster, so you're making more money, and that's really what it's all about for these guys. And making sure that people know that consumers want the product.
Yeah. I can share.
Like I said, when you have a product that people don't want to buy anymore, that's a problem. I don't have that problem.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to share this with you. It doesn't go well on a podcast, but okay. This is my 1992 Bruce hardwood flooring jacket. They used to get some good swag back in the day. And I show you this.
Well, we got some. I'll make sure Catherine gets you some.
Sure, why not? Bribe me.
Swag.
Send me a boat. The thing is I was a Bruce RRFC. And for those old enough to know what that was, it was registered residential retail flooring contractor. And I say that because it seems like today, too. Back then, Bruce was all about how do we partnership with the contractor and with our brand. it's not just, hey, we sell flooring and we're in Home Depot and Lowe's and wherever else they are. It's about, okay, we still need to be in contact with the people that put this in and build partnerships. How does AHF build that like name brand partnership? Is it through distributors? How is it done?
We have our own sales force. So we have a direct sales force. We go through distribution. So, our distributor partners, we have about 40 distributors. The old Armstrong had, I think, 7 or 8.
Right.
So we now are back to having a lot of distributors that go out and tout our products. And they're really the feet on the street. So we have, on a direct sales, if I include commercial, we're 100 plus folks out there. If you throw distribution in there, now you're up to 1,000 people, running around telling our story.
Right.
So we do things like swag. We do have shirts and cups and all that thing. And then, we have spiffs. We have little ways that, people can make money by supporting our products. So, if you make an extra 20, 30 cents a foot here, you go on a trip over here. We just completed a contest with one of our Bruce products where the salesperson got a trip. I think they decided to go to Hawaii. So Catherine can go on and on. We could just go on and on. There's more stuff going on than I could tell you in an hour at the distributor level and on our direct basis.
You know what I liked in Vegas was, and they just had a massive booth with your Red Oak 3 1/4 product. And anybody would, that's pretty rugged to look at that. And they go, what do you think? And I said, I think we'd buy absolutely. A few truckloads of this. And then we looked at the price and everything.
100%.
I'm like, yes. You have to see it. I'm like, I can tell you right now, you didn't call all this out. This is good. We can sell this. Absolutely.
Yep. So we like fun parties. We're going to Neocon. We're going to have parties there. We're going to be on boats. We go to surfaces. We have parties, dinners. So we work hard, but we also play hard, and we like to have a good time doing it. And when I was at the NWFA, it's just, I don't know. I'm pretty fortunate to be in an organization or in an industry that's just made up of just genuine good people.
Yeah, they certainly are.
It's just.
Did Catherine want to jump in? Did she want to say a little something to us?
Well, I would say one thing that I think everybody knows Bruce. Everybody understands that Bruce is solid. It's solid business. It's a reliable brand and product. And as I joined the company 6 months ago, I'm looking at this heritage of a brand that we have, and I'm looking forward to everything we're going to do moving forward. We want to bring the personality of Bruce back. So we're working on that. The unfinished ad we just did. People were taking pictures of the pop-up banner ad at NWFA because it just resonates. What is Bruce? It's hardwood. It's the real thing, and you can really depend on Bruce. So I'm looking forward to everything we're going to do on the marketing side to bring Bruce back.
I love it. All right, I'm going to give you guys your rapid fire closeout. You want to get in on the rapid fire closeout questions, Catherine? Because
I don't know. What is that?
Milton, you need a marketing person for this stuff.
Let's do rapid fire because I am getting yelled at. I'm a little late for a meeting. So,
we're going. Is that Michelle Zellman? Away. Is she cracking the whip on us over there? I see her. She's hiding in the corner. All right. There's only a few questions, and then you will escape my clutches. And there they go. All right. So we know Bruce has been a household name for decades. Either one of you, or both of you, in just a word or two, what is the key to describing the longevity of that reputation?
Consistency.
Go ahead, marketing lady. What do you got?
Oh, it's solid.
Gotcha. All right. Either one of you. This is interesting. What's one thing that people probably do not know and they should know about Bruce Flooring?
It's the number one selling brand of wood in the world.
And the number one top of mind brand for the pros.
And all right, and Catherine, simply put this one out there for me. What's the difference between AHF flooring and Bruce Flooring for people that would question?
AHF is the parent company, like Milton said, and within AHF we have amazing brands, including Bruce.
All right, Milton, describe the Bruce brand in just 3 words.
Best quality hardwood.
Each of you, what's your proudest moment, Catherine, from being with the company so far?
Hard to say. I would say my team, my marketing team. I'm so honored to have such talent in my team. That's what drives me to work every morning.
Milton, what's your proudest moment? Getting rid of 2 1/4 strip or bringing it back? Come on, what's your proudest moment with the company?
My proudest moment, I'm in the business world, so my proudest moment is expanding our sales and our product offering in the last 2 years.
Well, you worked in the field a long time.
Expanding our sales, profitability, and the product offering, not in kind of that order.
And then, Milton, in your years in the trenches, did you have a favorite tool?
The gift of gab.
There you go.
I don't know, man. I'm a sales guy.
Thank you. How many times in meetings I've been told we don't need you, gift to gab people? Yeah, try selling something, buddy.
I will take a great sales person all day over any other tool that the marketing team can bring me. And not that I don't want those marketing tools, but a guy or a gal that can tell the story in front of a customer is going to win the day.
Absolutely.
And we're still in an industry where people matter.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be in an industry where we don't matter, but people matter. So,
Catherine, any carpet in your house? Is Catherine any
No.
carpet? Thank you.
No, that's the first thing we did
Good
when
answer.
we moved into our
I
new
have rugs.
home.
I have rugs in my house, but no carpet.
Okay.
Yeah, we extended all the hardwood that was already in the common area throughout all the bedrooms.
Well, listen, you both
Hardwood
wrapped
in
this
every
up.
room except for the basement.
You guys knocked it out
And
of the park. It's a home run.
the garage.
Next time I see you, I'll wear my Bruce jacket. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll get you a new one.
Yay! All right, guys. Thank you very, very much
Thanks,
for your
guys.
time being on All Things Wood Floor. You guys are great. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to this episode of All Things Wood Floor, brought to you by Bruce Flooring from AHF Products, a name contractors have trusted for over a century. If you liked this episode, please rate and review All Things Wood Floor, and don't forget to subscribe.